What if a civilization became so culturally advanced that it actually prevented itself from building a strong government? That's exactly what happened in India, and it's one of the most fascinating arguments in Francis Fukuyama's landmark work, The Origins of Political Order. Fukuyama observes that Indian social development outran both its political and economic development by centuries. Long before anyone attempted to unify the subcontinent politically, India had already acquired a common culture, shaped by a rich set of religious beliefs and social practices that marked it as a distinct civilization. And when political unification was finally attempted, Indian society was already so deeply entrenched that it was able to resist and constrain political authority rather than be reshaped by it. This stands in sharp contrast to China. Whereas China developed a powerful centralized state that kept society weak in a self-perpetuating cycle, India had a strong society that prevented a strong state from ever emerging in the first place. Just how advanced was Indian social development by around 500 AD? Consider this. Two of the world's great religious and philosophical traditions, Hinduism and Buddhism, both originated in India and both spread across Asia on an extraordinary scale. Hinduism took root across Southeast Asia. Buddhism spread even further, reaching China, Japan, Korea, and beyond. Vast numbers of Asian countries remain Buddhist to this day. And here is what makes this remarkable. Neither religion was spread by Indian armies. There was no conquest, no empire, no military campaign. These ideologies were simply adopted by other societies because they offered a compelling framework for organizing human life. So powerful was India's cultural influence that when China developed an early form of the movable type printing press around 400 AD, some of the very first books to be printed were Chinese translations of Indian Buddhist texts. As one commentator put it, even a millennium ago, the hardware was Chinese and the software was Indian. But this cultural dominance would not last, and here Fukuyama identifies a profound irony. India's greatest strength, its deeply rooted social institutions, became its greatest weakness. As those institutions calcified over time, there was no political mechanism to introduce change from within. The caste system, religious structures, and social hierarchies became rigid and self-reinforcing. India was stuck at a moderate level of development, with no internal engine for reform. This left it dangerously vulnerable. Without a strong state, India could not defend itself effectively against external threats. And so change, when it came from outside. First the Mughals in the 16th century, and then the British in the 18th century. As Fukuyama writes, change had to be forcibly imported by foreign invaders. The lesson Fukuyama draws is sobering. Political institutions matter. A civilization can be culturally brilliant, philosophically rich, and socially sophisticated, and still fail to develop the political structures needed to protect and sustain itself. India's story is a powerful reminder that society and state must develop together. When one outruns the other, the consequences can echo across millennia.